Hey everyone, this is B, or Onyx Nova Cosplay, and today we're making a Barbie dress. I know what you're thinking, I do not look like a Barbie girl. I'm not. But I wanted to go ahead and try my hand at it, so let's get into it. First thing I did was go to my local thrift store. I found a few things that I liked. I found a few things also that you'll see in a sec that I thought would be good, but then the more I was looking at materials I had, the more I was like, I don't know. But this is such a cute little thrift shop. I love it. But yeah, so I ended up getting a bed sheet, some shoes, some flowers that I didn't use, but I'm going to use for a future project. And then I went to the Dollar Tree and got some fabrics and notions. And I would show you the audio of this, but the microphone on my headphones messed up that day, so it all sounded like crap. And then apparently nature was just really loud outside that day, so even without the mic, it was just not. It was no bueno. It wasn't happening. But so I got that fabric home, and I wanted to see just how big it was, because I wasn't sure if it was like for a king, queen, whatever size bed, so I wanted to see what I had. I figured the easiest way to make this into a dress would be by starting with making it into a skirt. So I took all the fabric and I laid it out to make a circle skirt. Now I am by no means a sewing master, so I will link the Sarah Spaceman YouTube video on how to make a circle skirt in the comments, or in the description, because I want you guys to have the proper way of being taught how to do it if this is your first time ever trying to make one. But I've been cosplaying for a long time, like going on a decade or more now, and oh my god, it's almost like, I think it's almost a decade in like a couple years. But I know how to fudge a circle skirt. That being said, I have never messed up sewing an elastic waistband in so hard in my life. The proper way to do it would be to make the channel for the elastic, feed the elastic, make the channel by sewing it down, feed the elastic through, sewing the elastic down, and then finishing sewing up the channel so it's a full skirt. I decided, and you can find a better tutorial on YouTube, I'm sure, but I decided that the best way to do this would be to do everything in reverse. So I started by sewing the elastic together, then making a channel for the elastic, but not sewing it down until after. Then I realized that I couldn't keep the elastic sewn together, so I had to unstitch that. I was all over the place with this. Like I said, I have never once made an elastic waistband this way. I do not know why I was being so dumb this time. And this is like the easiest way to make a waistband. It is a gathered waistband, so it doesn't have to look perfect. I am by no means trying to compete with this or anything, so I was just like, screw it, who cares? And so I decided to just go with it and leave it like that. But yeah, I don't know why I went about it so horribly wrong. Even how I cut the elastic to make it fit my measurements better, instead of just measuring it from one end to the other and cutting off the excess, I measured it from where I pinned it and cut off the two ends. I don't know what was going on in my head. It was nothing. It was the smooth brain meme where it's no lumps or bumps or ridges or humps or whatever it says. It all slides off like a waterfall. I had no idea what I was doing up here. But I had it going. So whenever I finished making this the first time, I was like, that'll be good enough. And then I tried it on, and it was not good enough. It was a damn mess. A damn shame, really. I don't know why I was so off in this way. But yeah, so I tried to make this elastic waistband work, and it just didn't. And this was the first step where I realized I was not doing this for me, but I had to keep going. And I was really torn on how I felt about that. Because I usually always make my cosplays for me. It's either a character I love, a show I love, and that character is more my vibe, or a combination of those things. Or I say show, it can be movie, it can be whatever, right? But this was the first one where I was just I want to get in on all the hype that's happening around it. And I know that's what I was doing. As for this top, this material it was from an old Harley Quinn project that I made, which I want to go back and remake at some point. But I didn't like how it looked with the skirt, so I was like, screw it, I'll save that fabric for another project, and moved on. Got the bed sheet back out, and realized that I could just use the top of it that you pull up to be all cozy. I could use the top of it as a flat piece to hang over the front, so that way I could have a cute little top, and it would be great. And like I said, I was just trying to use the most of this material that I possibly could. I will go back and use So if you've ever seen the bed sheet, they have those seams that go on it that like finish off at least the bottom. I don't know if they have them on the sides as well. At least this one like kind of did, but not really. I realized that only the bottom of this was actually a seam, like a legitimate piece of fabric by itself, and the rest of it was just fabric folded over and like made to kind of look like one. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but regardless, we'll get back to that. I'm sewing in a zipper by hand, and that was honestly not that hard. I honestly did not mind it. I think a lot of people get hesitant when they hear about hand sewing things completely. That's how I've done most of my cosplays, is hand sewing. I hand sew basically everything, and it's because I just have a bad relationship with sewing machines. And people always give me advice. They're like, oh, well, you need to do this to fix your machine or maintain it or whatever. Even when I worked in a costume shop in college for like a semester or two, when I used a machine, there was just something about it that, like, I don't know if it was a fear I had or like an anxiety about using it, but I just didn't feel right. Like, I am literally whip stitching the seam of this to make the bottom of the skirt look good, when I could have easily just done this with the machine and been done with it, because I was afraid. And like, I don't mind, well, the top is gross, and the top, spoiler alert, the bottom of the top is still disgusting. I'm never going back to finish that. It will just be bad. But even like my little cheats here, like I'm using for the sleeves, I'm using that bottom part of the bed sheet that I was telling you about, that like is an actual piece of fabric, so that way my sleeves would look finished. Like, I am fudging this up a storm. Now, mind you, I do think how I sewed these on was pretty nice. So I used the little flap to my advantage, and basically sewed the sleeve to the inside of the material, but not on the outside. So that way it still looked nice without actually sticking out. Now, mind you, I do have to go back and change this from traditional spaghetti straps to a halter. But that's just because one of the back ones popped off, and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna pop both of them off. Because when I tried it on, this is me talking about trying it on, it didn't go well. It didn't. The skirt busted because I sewed the elastic stupid, and one of the straps popped off. It was a grand old time. So I had to go back and fix it. But let's be real, the way I did that elastic was so shitty, I had to go back and fix it anyway. It was gonna have to happen. It was just a matter of time. But this is why we try things on. This is why we test things. And this is why I continue to fudge my cosplays. A lot of people are like, oh, make mock-ups, use patterns, all that stuff. And you should. I most definitely probably should have. And one day I might take my own advice on that. But until then, I'm going to keep fudging it. That's just how it is. But anyway, so back to the skirt for a sec. I tried it on. I think it's super cute. I've realized I am definitely going to have to wear a bra with this, though, because it is a bed sheet and not actual fabric, so it does not hide the girls well. But I think it looks super cute. The bottom part still needed to be finished, I think, at this point. But you can see I've already changed the top of it to make the sleeves, quote-unquote, look a little bit different. But yeah, so then I realized I didn't like how the bottom of the skirt looked, because it was too long and it was uneven. So I wanted to go back and fix that, and I did. It was great. I left my scissors on the floor, though. My cat almost got them. She was very excited about fabric, and I had to physically remove her from the skirt because she was going to try and fight it in hand-to-hand combat. My cat is a menace to society. If you ever meet my cat in person, she will run from you and be all like, oh, I'm so shy. She's not. She's a demon. I love my cat, but she is a menace to society. I should have just named her Menace instead of Mustard Jones, honestly. I think that would have been the better call. But yeah, so I went back. I cut the ends of the skirt so it looked a little nicer. It looked a little more even. Overall would look cleaner. And then I went back and added the piece of fabric that I keep talking about that will... it's basically just bias tape for a bed sheet. The bed sheet bias tape that I stole using my own bias tape. And then I don't know when it'll pop up in the footage, but I will inevitably run out of said bias tape and have to make some more. Which, if anyone wants to buy me like a bias tape foot or a bias tape maker where you can literally, like, it's shaped like a little thick staple, and or like a piece of metal that's like folded in. You just feed the fabric through. It's like open on one end and it like a funnel but flat. I don't know how to describe it. It literally will make fabric into bias tape for you. Like what? That's amazing. That's a miracle. That's made from God himself. But yeah, so I realized I was out of bias tape. And I was like, I have to make this my own. But it wasn't that hard. I just kind of folded out what I thought I would need and whip stitched it to the skirt itself to cheat the system. Because that's all this dress was cheating the system. I would like to take a moment though, while past me is talking about bias and sewing it all together and all that stuff, to talk about the burnout that I faced while making this dress. And I know I've talked about it throughout this probably already. I honestly don't remember. I've tried to film this like 5 times and it's just not been going according to plan. So let's hope this is the one, right? But I know I made this dress to try and like fit in with the vibes, to fit in with everybody. I was like a Monster High girl at best in terms of what I was into as a child, but I didn't actually collect any dolls. Like, okay, I do have a collection, I still own them, of Wizard of Oz Barbie dolls that my great aunt and grandmother got for me when I was a kid. And my great aunt was like, oh, there's no Wicked Witch of the East or Wicked Witch of the West doll. And so she made me one. And it was just a normal Barbie, but she like sewed a little dress for it and like painted it green, and like my aunt was a doll customizer before that was even a thing. So if I can find it, maybe I'll throw in a photo. If not, maybe I'll talk about them in a later video or something. My love of Wizard of Oz knows no bounds. But I was never really a Barbie girl. As you can tell by the aesthetic of the things around me, I was an Alice in Wonderland girl. I was definitely an Alice in Wonderland girly. That was me through and through. Barbie was not my thing. And so when I decided to make this dress, it was 110% for the, like, to be on trend. And I don't think doing things on trend is necessarily a bad thing, but like, it's not necessarily a good thing either if you're not into it. Like, I know I totally made this to just like fit in, and like I wanted people to see it. And like, don't get me wrong, I love how the dress ended up, I love how it turned out, but I just kind of like, at the end of the day, I was not making this for me. I was making it for other people. And I try not to do that with the cosplays I make, but this one I just really wanted to, you know, fit in, be cool, be Barbie. And like, I love Margot Robbie. I still haven't seen the movie yet. I'm sure it's great because Margot Robbie is great. Her as Harley Quinn will be, aside from Arlene herself, will be my canon Harley Quinn for like all eternity. That's just how it is. But like, I just wanted to so badly get the views and the likes and the whatevers for being Barbie that I didn't actually think about what I wanted to do with that. Does that make sense? Like, I was just so torn and hung up on trying to be Barbie that I didn't actually think about what B wanted. And B doesn't want to be Barbie. I don't want to be Barbie. I don't even want to be Ken. I don't want to be Alan. I don't want to be any of them. My dress is cute. I may or may not wear it to KatsuCon. We'll see. If I don't have a room yet. I'm manifesting my trip to KatsuCon like I did last year. But I digress. I do also make some accessories for this. I think they're super cute. I made the earrings for this dress the same way I made my earrings for my Alice in Cyberland costume, which I wish I had filmed more of the process of making my Alice in Cyberland costume because it's super cute and I love it. That was something made for me. That was something made for me, was Alice in Cyberland. No one knew who the hell I was, but I loved every second of it. But yeah, this is hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. This is a hard video for me to make. And like, I have my video pulled up that I'm currently watching, going back to edit like And there's a lot of me talking in this that I'm like, I don't even care about, because I no longer am that bee. That bee was trying to fit in. And I'm not trying to do that. I am going to make this video. I want to make this video. This is something I did work hard on. I spent well over a month working on this. Like, that's not even a thing. I did. Like, I spent time and effort and money on this, and I want to show everyone what I did. And like, these were genuine moments of like, oh, I can use these accessories and I can do these things. And I was very happy for that. Like, this little ice cream purse, I love it. If I take Barbie to Katsucon, that's the bag I'm going to use, is the ice cream purse. The accessories I made will be worn with it. I might have more accessories that I add to them that are already made. I might wear different shoes because I have other shoes that are also pink that might work better. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Or a different wig or something. But like, there's time, right? But like, and I don't mean for this to be such a depressing Barbie video. Depressing Barbie is never a thing that I thought I would hear, but here we are. But yeah, so I have a lot of accessories for Barbie. This purse is my favorite. I have a lot of cute bags. Maybe one day I'll just show all my bags off. I think that would be adorable. I think you all would enjoy seeing all the bags I have, because I have too many. Like, if you want to see a bag haul. But yeah, let's get into making these accessories real quick. I am rambling so hard right now. So let's get into making them. So I decided that I was going to make a bracelet and a necklace. Oh, what a lovely little burn on my arm. I'll just place my face right over that. But I burnt my arm in the oven getting pizza out. I'm real smart like that. But basically I bought a pack of pink, like light pink and dark pink, like a mixture of beads from the Dollar Tree. And I already had this black material. I don't know if it's thread. It's not thread. It's too thick to be thread. I don't know. It's like a leather cording or pleather. I think it's faux leather. But I wanted to make my own little jewelry. Now, if I was going to do this again, I love the leather pleather thing I got going on. I wish it was in white though, because at the end of it, when you can see the jewelry finish, you can see the black, and it's like a little disconnect from the actual like jewelry Barbie colors itself. But it's not terrible. It's just like, I could have used a better thread for that or something. But yeah, I literally just interchanged between the large and the dark, and I may or may not go back and put a clasp on it, but right now it's just tied in place, and that works for me. I think it's cute, so I'm probably just gonna leave it like that. I did the same thing with the necklace, just tied it, left it. It's just a tie and not like a clasp, and I think it looks great, honestly. It was really easy, and I honestly might make more of this jewelry because I like just putting beads on things. Is that weird? Is it weird that I like sorting through the beads and then making them into a necklace? I don't know, maybe, but I digress. And next up is the earrings, and this is the exact way I made my Alice in Wonderland earrings. So I got these little, I guess, baubles, you would call them, from the Dollar Tree a few years ago, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to use these for, but now I do. And I literally just put loops on the parts that they already had that was the string was on. I put loops on them, and then I put hooks on those loops, and then I put the hooks through my ears. I bought a crap ton of earring backs, or not earring backs, of earring, like the hook earring kinds. I bought a bajillion of those on Amazon like 5 years ago, and I still just have them. So it's just really easy to just pop a hook onto something and make it an earring. It's kind of dangerous that I have this much power. I can make anything into earrings now. Someone better stop me. It's not gonna be me. I'm gonna make everything into earrings, including you. Be careful. You'll be my next earring. But no, like literally the easiest earrings in the world. And if you were making something that you want to make into an earring that doesn't have like a little back, I would just recommend, if it's resin, just putting one of those loops in the resin itself. If it's not resin, I would just make little holes to put the hoops on to attach the hooks to. It's pretty simple. I just trusted these because they were made to go on Christmas trees, and they might be cheap, but they ended up looking super cute. And I realized that all my shades of pink are like all over the place. And you know what? That's fine. I don't care. This is a joke costume anyway. So next up, I got this light pink fabric from the Dollar Tree, and I did the most piss poor job of cutting strips out of it. But basically, I went through, cut strips, and made ribbons. I put these on the bottom of the skirt. I was gonna put some like across the top, but I think I only did ones on the sleeves, like on the corners of the sleeves. And what I'm gonna go back and do is replace all those ribbons before Katsucon. I'm gonna buy pre-made ribbons, because my ribbons were crap. They were absolute crap. They would have been better if I'd used a machine and like sewn them to make them look nice, like nice piece of fabric, or if I had bias tape. I'm just begging for a bias tape maker at this point. I don't even know why. It's not even like I would use it that much. But if I had one, I'd be like, oh, bias tape maker. What a time to be alive. But yeah. So at this point when I was making these ribbons, it was like 2 days before the movie came out. And I was trying so hard to get these things done. I was trying so hard to get the video out by the time the movie dropped. But you can just see in my eyes that I just was not feeling it at this point in time. Like, I was trying really hard to be into it. I was trying real hard to be like, let's go get it, let's do it, you know what I mean? It wasn't happening. Also, I realized I've not been wearing my glasses this whole time. I'm not against them, I just didn't put them on. But yeah, so at this point, I was still in bias tape making hell. I had to do that for like 2 more days after this because I just didn't have enough bias tape and I didn't want to go buy any more fabric. And so I was just like, screw it, I'll just make bias tape forever. And at this point in time, I was working from home, so I was literally like in the middle of answering calls or like in the middle of meetings. I was just sitting and hand sewing like this whole time. Most of this dress was made while I worked from home, hand sewing during work, on my lunch breaks, on my breaks, in meetings, like hand sewing. The next costume I make is going to be more on the fabrication side of things in terms of like, it'll be closer to armor building than sewing, but it's not going to be quite armor. And it's about a Studio Ghibli movie, so that'll be coming soon, hopefully. But this was the part of the dress where I really started to hate it. And I didn't really, like, I was doing a lot of trust the process with this, but I was really not feeling it until the end. Like, until I tried it all on, and it was done, and I could step away and call it a semi-finished project and just leave it alone. Then I was like, okay, I like this dress. And, like, I don't know if I'll ever make a costume for something I'm not fully into again. I don't think it's worth it. And maybe I would feel different had I gotten this done by the time the movie came out, like if I had started sooner. But I just honestly didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted it to be done at that point, and it just was taking forever. But, side note, I do think this bias looks so good. I think I did a damn good job. I'm not even gonna lie. I am so proud of myself for a lot of reasons on this dress. The ribbons, however, are not part of it. The ribbons are not something I am proud of. The ribbons are a mockery and a sham. Like this dress. Even in like making this video, I can't even like be serious about liking it or not. Like, it is just so all over the place for me because there are parts of it I love. I love how I cheated the top with the part that you snuggle up with and like made it into a cute little top part. I love how I did the bias tape at the bottom. Even if it's not perfect, I do love how I did it. I love how my zipper looks in the back after it's been sewn in. Like, I think that looks amazing. Things I do not love: the black leather that I used for the jewelry. These frickin' ribbons. They are terrible. So bad. Like, what am I even doing? I just took pieces of fabric that were crap and sewed them into little bunny ears. Or not even sewed them, just tied them into little bunny ears and then sewed them on. And they look like shit. I do not like them. But they're still on there. And I end up taking that one off on the front because I don't like how it looked. But I leave the others on. And then I sew the rest of them onto the bottom of the skirt. And that's part of why I think if I change out the ribbons, and then get a petticoat. It'll look nicer because you'll see at the very end when I do the reveal, the ribbons kind of droop a little bit, so it's not getting the like effect that I wanted. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. And I don't think I've mentioned this yet. I only had red and white thread, so I just kind of used whatever felt right. I ended up using red for most of it just because I felt like that would stand out less than the white did. Because when I did the white on the front of the straps, like underneath the little flappy thing, I was like, oh, that really stands out. And so I went back and used red because it was less noticeable. But yeah, so I went back in, hand sewed these ribbons on after I pinned them into place. And basically my main goal for these ribbons was to hide unsightly seams on the bottom of the skirt. And I wanted to put some on the top to like bring it all together. But basically, so since I had to make like a more bias tape for the bottom of the skirt, I wanted to go back and hide the gaps where the bias tapes met up, so you couldn't tell that's where they were at. And so I went around and put ribbons on all of those, and then the ribbons I had left, I tried to space them out in between the gaps of those, so that way it would like all line up together, if that makes sense. So like, it would look like there were just ribbons lining the bottom, but in actuality, some of them were hiding unsightly seams, while others were there just for aesthetic reasons. Overall, I think it worked pretty damn well. If the ribbons had not been ugly, I think it would have been a 10 out of 10. Right now, I'm giving this dress like a 6 out of 10. And I'm only giving it that high of a number because I hand sewed the entire thing. So yeah. Oh. Motorcycle man outside. But I don't know why I said it like that. But yeah, so... Oh, I would also like to say, if you decide that you are going to hand sew an entire project, one, more power to you. I know a lot of people do it for like historical fashion. They're like, I want to make it the way that it was made back then, and like all of the power to you, people specifically historical costumers, knocking it out of the park. Y'all are insane. Y'all are incredible. Y'all are amazing. But look at me. Look, I look so fucking sad, y'all. I was doing food delivery at this point, and I brought my dress because I just wanted it to be done. So I literally bought the dress because I think I still maybe had a little bit of bias to sew, and a lot of ribbons to sew on. So I just brought it all and was sewing in between food deliveries. I was just so over this dress. But then it was time to actually put it all together. So, makeup and hair time. Finally, I never thought I would reach this moment in my life. So when I do my makeup, hi, my makeup tutorial. When I do my makeup, I put lotion on my face, usually sunscreen, but I wasn't going out, so just normal lotion. Then I put foundation everywhere. I need to get a better foundation. I use just Wet n Wild for my foundation, and then I use the lighter one for my highlight, just because it works well. And since I'm mixed, it usually looks better on my skin. I can use a little bit more of this in the fall because my skin isn't as dark, and then in the summer I just use more of the other one, and it works out well. But yeah, I'm just going in, putting some on my eyes so you can't see the bags under my eyes. Oh my god. And I'm by no means a makeup person. I mean, I do my makeup, I enjoy how it looks on my face, but when it comes to cosplay makeup, that's not my thing. I did theater my whole life. I majored in theater. I know how to do makeup for the stage. I know how to do makeup for myself because one of my friends, her name is Emmy K. She's wonderful. She taught me how to do makeup in college, and like, one, I know what you're thinking, B, how did you not know how to do makeup before your sophomore year of college? I went to a private Christian school, and they were like, don't do crazy makeup, and so I just never got into it because I was like, I just use it for theater and that's it. And now I do it whenever I want because it's my life. But yeah, so between Emmy Kate and like my friend Hattie and like just doing theater, talking to drag queens, like the whole nine, talking to and also watching RuPaul's Drag Race during the peak of learning how to do makeup did a lot for me, admittedly. My makeup was really rough back then. It's better now. My eyebrows are more like cousins than twins. We're still working on that. It's fine. But speaking of eyebrows, I use a, so this is totally a knockoff of a James Charles palette that I got from Five Below. But it is so just the exact knockoff. And it's not as pigmented, but it works for me. And and I use that for my eyebrows like every day because it looks good. And then I did a little blonde like or color on the corners of them because I'm not going to give myself blonde eyebrows. It doesn't look good on me, but I am going to fudge it a little bit. And then I have this Revolution palette. I think it's called Birds of Paradise. Oh my lord, I am in love with this makeup palette. I've used it so much. I'm going to buy another one. But I digress. I used that for all the shades of pink on the eyes. Admittedly, it was very bright pink. I have gone through mini Barbie looks in terms of pink eyeshadow, but this was the one I was feeling the most. I wanted to add a little purple as well, just because there were so many shades of pink going on in my costume that I wanted to have shades of pink going on in my eyes and my lips as well. So I get back my faux James Charles eyeshadow palette because it has a little shimmer into it, and I just want to throw it on top because glitter. What's more Barbies than pink and glitter? I don't know. Probably going to space and also being a doctor. That's just who she is. She's the real one. Then I did my eyeliner, which I think people are going to judge how I do my eyeliner, and that is I just wing it by the grace of God and hope that it looks okay in the end. And if it doesn't, oh well, the eyeliner will just be bigger than we want it to be. That's just how it is. But I don't do like face shape altering makeup when I do my cosplays. It's still gonna look like me at the end of the day. Also, I'm probably gonna be wearing my glasses, and if I'm at a convention, I'll be wearing a mask. That's just how it is. Like, I might, if I'm doing a photo shoot, I will bring a lipstick and wear that and do the makeup from the bottom half of my face. But if I'm going to a con and I'm wearing a mask, like during COVID times, yeah, no, I'm not doing anything from the nose down. Pre-COVID though, yeah, whole face. I would just do like this. That's how it is. I use 2 different types of mascara when I do my eyelashes because I am not wearing fake eyelashes ever. I own them. I do not like putting them on. My friend Lydia is the only person who has successfully put fake eyelashes on me, and I didn't want to die afterwards. So, go team. Then I have this cheap pink lipstick, which again, completely different shade of pink, but who cares? It's Barbie. Barbie will wear whatever she wants. And right now I am Barbie, so I'm going to wear whatever I want. Then I did a little bit of blush. I learned the drag trick. If you take your blush and go all the way around your face when you're wearing a wig, it looks more natural for some reason, and I love it. It makes my face just glow more. I'm not doing it right now because I'm not wearing a wig, so you would just see the awkward, like, oh, this part isn't blush, but this is, you know what I mean? So we're not doing that. But I will do it for wigs. And then I went back and took this very pigmented eyeshadow and put it over my lips because I did not like how that pink looked. I was like, we can do better. We can get shinier. We can do more. Because it's Barbie, and we will always do more. We will always do more for Barbie. Always. I was honestly really feeling myself in this makeup. I know I don't wear a lot of pink, like clothing-wise, but like pink eyeshadow, to die for. Then I took my hair. Normally at conventions, I'll braid it, but this time I was like, screw it. We're just gonna cheat it. I don't know why I have the 1,000-yard stare putting this wig cap on, but I digress. Why do I look like that? But yeah, so put the wig cap on, and then I had a couple wigs that I was looking at, a long one, a short one. I ended up going with a short one because I knew it would just look better in general and I wouldn't have to style it, and I was not looking to style anything that day. I said, no, we're not styling today. We are putting on the shake and go wigs. Have made a return. This was a Marilyn Monroe wig I bought from Spirit Halloween 2 or 3 years ago. I bought it actually to be Norma Bates from the Bates Motel show with an old friend of mine, but we actually never happened. But I like this wig. This is a wig I use for the Alice Madness Returns. You know what I'm thinking about, video games. The Alice in Cyberland look. But I really like it. It's asymmetrical, so I think it's a nice funky little vibe. And I think it looks good on me. But enough talk. Now it is time for the reveal. And that's it. That is my final Barbie look. This has been a journey for me in terms of what I have made, how I felt about it. But overall, I really do enjoy how it turned out. If you enjoyed how it turned out, if you have thoughts or feelings about trying to fit in, or the burnout of making a costume that you're not really into, or anything like that, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you have any thoughts on the Barbie movie, though, please save those. I'm sorry, I cannot join you in your conversation. If you guys want to talk about it without me in the comments, feel free. But I will not be able to join until I watch it myself. But if you have made it to the end of this video, sincerely thank you so much. I know I have stepped away from a lot of creative things in the last couple of months. My life has been hectic. Things have continuously been going off the rails. But I'm trying, and I want to get back to this. This is what I love to do, and I hate that I had to take some time away to get back to doing it. But I'm back for at least now. I'll probably step away for a bit. I have projects I want to work on, but I haven't even started yet because I've been in the limbo of trying to get this done, and my brain just was like, you cannot start something new until you get this stupid video out. But now that I am in the process of finishing this video out, I am so close to starting something new, and I'm so excited. I know what I'm starting next. It's a Studio Ghibli themed something, or it's from Studio Ghibli. You can figure it out. You can guess in the comments which Studio Ghibli movie you think it'll be from. But again, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I love you guys. I love the support that I've gotten on here and on Instagram. It means a lot to me. But I will see you all in the next video. So bye-bye for now. Bye, guys.